Our story begins in a place taken by destruction, under a red moon and a purple sky. The name of our boy is Yun-Che and he is kneeling, surrounded by wreckage and bones. His thought focuses on the name of the traitor, Luo Wei. The protagonist, covered by a dark purple aura, is kneeling on the battlefield, looking at a shadowy figure. His voice echoes in despair and he asks this man why he is doing this to him. The shadowy figure reveals a blonde and imposing man in military attire, holding a communicator. He questions our boy coldly, asking if he still remembers the time of the crisis. Then the man recalls the beginning of the catastrophe. Monsters appeared from strange space portals, causing destruction and chaos everywhere. Our boy, wounded and bloody, leans on his sword, surrounded by his dead companions and enemies. The traitor continues explaining that they baptized those places as secret realms. Those who had contact with them gained mysterious powers that they called classes. Amid the battle, our boy remembers his rise. They formed legions of classes to attack the realms, advancing with great momentum in the war. Luo Wei, the traitor, reveals his intention with eyes shining red. He states that he needs to eliminate our boy because he is no longer controllable by the Empire. The traitor explains his political motivation. Bearers of powerful classes can easily disturb the order of the Empire, which is unacceptable to them. But our boy, with a bloody face and eyes full of fury, only listens to what the Stickers is saying. Then the Stickers decides to release the final accusation. Someone beyond level SSS like our boy is the most dangerous enemy of all. The king is standing in a lit room surrounded by subjects. He justifies the attack. Only with the greatest power in the hands of the royal family can the empire have stability. Our boy, with a bloody face and red eyes of fury, confronts the figure of betrayal. He screams, asking if that is the only reason to kill his family and companions. The face of the king with the crown lights up. He reiterates the justification, saying that everything is necessary for the stability of the empire, which seals the fate of our boy. But in his final moments and as a last act of despair, he attacks the figure of Luo Wei with a wave of red energy. He screams the name of the traitor in a furious lament. The energy attack of our boy hits the ground, causing a great explosion and raising debris from the previous battle. But at that moment his armor, which was already damaged, explodes in a great ball of fire. He is hit full on by the coordinated attack of the enemy. Luo Wei on horseback approaches the wounded body. He reveals that he had tampered with the hero's armor a long time ago. The explosion will also inject a compound poison into his wounds. Our boy is lying down, coughing blood, while pieces of his armor fly around him. Luo Wei concludes that after the level SSS battle, he has no way to resist anymore. Luo Wei, on horseback and surrounded by a legion of soldiers, mocks our boy. He says that he prepared an entire army, ensuring that there will be no escape for the betrayed. Our boy, with a cold look, only accepts his death, and the sticker speaks his last words to the bloody body of the protagonist. He states that the final attack was a form of respect for his strength in the past. And at that moment our boy begins remembering his past together with the stickers, when they were sitting in front of a bonfire, roasting meat and laughing. Then he wonders if they were really friends. The mind of our boy displays the hidden skill, mirrored world, of level SSS. The status screen appears in the dark background, indicating that the ability is ready to be used. The image shows our boy sinking into the dark and deep waters. And every time he loses consciousness he sinks even deeper into that deep water. The water gives way to a landscape of sea and rocks, and in this way decades passed. Thus the protagonist wakes up in a new time and reality. Our boy is hanging upside down in a tree, tied by ropes and surrounded by bullies who laugh. They mock, saying that he is pretending to be dead again. Ding Su is over our boy, who is lying on the ground, gagged, with an unconscious face. The bully smashes him, saying that he doesn't like that dead face of his. The bullies laugh and lift our boy again by the ropes, saying to drop him once more. Our boy coughs, trying to say that he was not pretending this time. Our boy is submerged in the water, and a smile of despair appears on his face. Surrounded by his thugs who laugh, Ding Su agrees to drag the fight a little longer and give a few more punches to our boy. Our boy is rising from the water, spitting blood and water, with his face twisted by pain. The effect of the violent fall continues to cause suffering to the protagonist. The face of our boy reflects exhaustion and suffering. He questions himself, in despair, why am I being targeted by all this torment? A figure in armor, wrapped in blue energy, wakes up to the sound of chaos. He wonders what sound is that, and questions why all this always happens to him. Xiao Ji, the squire, appears in the distance. He shouts, ordering them to stop immediately, realizing that the bully's play is about to become fatal. Ding Su ignores the plea. He mocks, saying that if Yun-Che is dying he can use his own healing spell, since he is a chanter even if it heals little. Ding Su approaches Xiao Ji. He accuses him of being two-faced, since he was quiet and now he is trying to save his colleague. Ding Su intensifies the intimidation. Xiao Ji guided everyone there to find our boy. He asks if the boy's death would not be his fault too. Xiao Ji, terrified, manages to whisper that he was forced by them. Ding Su stares at him with contempt, asking if he also wants to drown like the other. Ding Su smiles, finding humor in Xiao Ji's fear. He calls him a punching bag who now has an opinion, but the smile soon becomes a threat. Ding Su releases Xiao Ji and prepares to assault him. He shouts, furious, for Xiao Ji to know his place, imposing the hierarchy of power with physical violence. The aggressor, Ding Su, advances in fury. The chain on his neck shines and his eyes are full of hatred, but he is caught by surprise by the movement. A portal opens over the water, displaying the form of a giant skeleton. The aggressors are paralyzed by the shock of the manifestation of the secret realm. One of the thugs screams in panic, realizing that the area has become a secret realm. He questions how a portal of that kind could have opened there. The group of bullies runs in despair, shouting to flee. They cannot deal with a new secret realm that has suddenly opened. Xiao Ji is standing shocked, seeing the portal that opened, but he sees that his colleague is still tied up, since he is still hanging on the tree near the portal. The squire is in panic with his face dripping sweat. He breathes heavily, realizing that the portal is real and that the risk of death is imminent. Xiao Ji runs to the tree where our boy is tied. He shouts that he cannot worry about the portal now and that he needs to save his colleague first. Xiao Ji desperately tries to untie the ropes of our boy, ignoring the monsters emerging from the portal. He knows that he must save him before thinking about fleeing. The portal is vomiting monsters of demonic forms and purple energies. The creatures emerge amid bones and wreckage, threatening the place of the fight. Xiao Ji, still trying to untie the ropes, groans, frustrated. He is scared and keeps wondering why the rope is so hard to untie while the monsters approach. Xiao Ji keeps screaming in fear, but manages to untie his colleague, while he screams as a blue demon with horns charges against him. And now that our boy is free from the ropes, he pulls his colleague to save him and already prepares to attack the demon and immediately activates his aura. He points his hand in the direction of the demon, with eyes shining in purple. The protagonist is ready to use his inversion skill. Our boy summons the hidden skill Mirrored World, manifesting a bluish and shining energy sphere in his hand, but instead the protagonist uses a basic healing spell on the demon. The operation fails because the target's HP is already full. His colleague at the side sees the scene and screams in terror, asking what he is doing and why he is healing the monster. Then Xiao Ji gets angry and goes against the demon, activating his shield, protecting our boy from the attack of that beast. Our boy sees the status panel of the body he inhabits. He confirms that his current class is Chanter, level 5, and he has low stats like Strength 4 and Defense 6. The protagonist, with hands burning in blue energy, confirms that that was a healing ability. He realizes that he is not in his original body and questions who this Yun Che is. The protagonist, shrouded in shadows, explains the system. He states that normally, upon making contact with a secret realm, individuals gain a random initial class. He continues the explanation, showing the variety of classes, and concludes that acting in these realms, you gain powers corresponding to your class, and that in his past life he was an elite warrior. The protagonist remembers the betrayal. At the moment of death, he used a skill called Mirrored World, the hidden level SSS skill that reverses everything. His soul was trapped in the mirrored world since then. He only managed to break free and return to life upon hearing the death scream of the boy who was drowning. Looking at his current body and the ghost of his original body dissipating, the protagonist concludes that he was revived through the body of the boy who had just died. With eyes shining in purple, the protagonist thanks destiny, for he is grateful for the chance of revenge that the young man's body provided him. Xiao Ji, surrounded by monsters that are entering the portal, screams desperately, "Yun Che, the monsters are coming. Help me with this shit here now," and warns that he can only endure at most 3 creatures. The protagonist, with a disdainful look, notes that the body of our boy is very weak now, but that does not stop him from acting to save the squire. He accesses the skills of the chanter's body, observing the system. He concludes with contempt that none of the chanter's skills are useful, only buffs and small heals. The protagonist laments, noting that the chanter class is trash. The specialties of the chanter are all of the support type, like healing and control and not attacks. The protagonist is alone, surrounded by shadowy and mocking figures of the past. He laments that the chanter class loses to all other combat classes, which is why it was always excluded. He tries to defend himself from the attacks of the blue demon, so he does his best to dodge. The protagonist states that he can only endure thanks to the combat abilities of his past life, but he is at the limit. Our boy summons the strength that remains in his body. He knows that he needs to find a way out of that situation, for if he runs out of vigor, it will be his end again. The status screen Mirrored World appears. The protagonist decides that, since the body is weak, he will have to rely on the hidden skill to win the fight. Our boy tries to use the skill, Mirrored World, on the lesser demon, but he still doesn't know how to use the ability properly. The operation of the skill fails, and the warning "conditions not satisfied" appears. Our boy is confused, not understanding what requirement the ability is demanding. The demon attacks again, and the protagonist observes his reflection in the water. He wonders if the skill needs a mirror surface, like the lake before, to function. Our boy tries to use the skill on the demon of sorrow, who wields a weapon. The warning, operation failed. Level too low appears. Then the protagonist analyzes the failure, realizing the power restriction. He notes that now the system says that the target's level is too low for inversion. Our boy tries to use the skill, mirrored world, directly on the demon's weapon. He decides that, since he cannot solve the level problem, he will have to change the target of the inversion. The inversion attempt fails again. The system warns, operation failed. Level too low, which frustrates the protagonist. Xiaoji screams in despair with his energy shield breaking. He begs for our boy to stop using useless support skills, for he can no longer withstand the pressure. A new horde of monsters emerges in the darkness. Xiaoji screams that he can't hold on anymore, feeling crushed by the number of demons. A demonic beast, the syndrome of difficult birth superhero, level 10, roars. It is an elite monster, proving the danger of the situation. Xiaoji, terrified, realizes that this elite monster requires at least level 10 to be fought. He surrenders to despair and already says that he is screwed. Xiaoji's panic increases upon seeing several lights of purple energy appearing in front of him, for that means that more strong monsters are appearing. Xiaoji stumbles and falls to the ground, exhausted and terrified. He no longer has energy or courage to fight against the horde that is about to attack him. A vast horde of shadowy demons materializes around our boy. The red glow of their eyes indicates that the area is under the control of the monsters. Our boy tries to use inversion on a rock in the way, but the system fails again with the warning, level too low. He is testing on anything, but nothing is working. Surrounded by demons of different types and all coming to attack them, our boy becomes frustrated. He questions if the skill even fails on a rock, and if the level difference is too great for inversion to work. The protagonist tests one last hypothesis, trying to use the skill on Xiaoji's shield. The failure of the hidden skill forces him to test other options. But as the creature is about to attack him, the system warns that it is impossible to reverse the abilities of other players. Our boy smiles, for he finally managed to understand that he cannot use inversion on the skills of others, whether allies or enemies, but now he has an idea of how he will use it. The protagonist manifests the screen of mirrored world. He makes the great discovery: the skill can be used on his own abilities, a new and powerful mechanic. A notification appears: the ability Vine Control was successfully reversed, confirming his intuition. Our boy uses the newly inverted skill, Chaotic Thorns, firing a wave of energy at the horde of demons. The skill is now offensive and powerful. Several notifications that he used the skill, Chaotic Thorns, reverse, flood the field of vision. The spam of the skill is the new combat mode of the chanter. The squire defends himself quickly, avoiding the blow of a demonic orc, while our boy uses his new skill. But before the orc hits the squire, another demon appears and hits the orc with an amplified punch. Our boy and Xiaoji fight amid the wreckage, but the squire is confused, wondering why the monsters are attacking each other. And shocked, he can hardly react, completely astonished by the reaction of those monsters. Our boy, wrapped in his aura, looks to the side to see what is happening. He finally understands, and the effect of the skill was completely reversed and enhanced. The protagonist analyzes the original skill. The Vine Control that caused restriction became Chaotic Thorns that causes confusion, and the inversion enhanced the ability. The effect of the confusion skill hits the demons, making them attack each other. Our boy finally understands the power of the mirror skills. With a malicious and victorious smile, our boy celebrates the discovery of his true power. He is ready to explore the full potential of Mirrored World. The protagonist smiles, recognizing the immense power of the hidden skill. He notes that the Mirror World truly lives up to its fame as an SSS-Rank hidden skill. Surrounded by skeletons and floating shadowy forms, he observes that the reverse effect of the skill not only inverts its effects but also provides a clear overall enhancement of his power. He ponders about using the original version of the ability among the fallen enemies like goblins and skeletons. It would have a low success rate, and the duration of the restriction effect would barely last a second. Looking at the trail of energy and holding a blade, he concludes that the original version would never have reached its current potential. Thinking about this, he moves on to the next skill. An orange pop-up appears with information about a new skill, Blade Strike. The protagonist questions what would happen if he inverted all the skills he still has left. Upon touching the Mirror World skill for inversion, he receives the notification of the skill, Deceptive Blade, inverted. It costs 40 MP, lasts 60 seconds, and increases attack by 10% per MP consumption. With a confident smile, he activates this ability on a blade, filling it with energy. The hero understands that each skill use now results in an additional plus 10% cumulative cumulative attack power bonus. The notice of Deceptive Blade activated appears with a duration of 60 seconds. He realizes that with just this activation, any skill use from now on will trigger the attack power increase. Suddenly, a golden light appears, and the system notifies that he leveled up. The status screen of our boy appears, showing the increase to level 6, which gives him 3 available points to distribute. He returns to face the combat area with a serene look. The protagonist deduces that most of the remaining monsters died in internal conflict, making it easier to clear the dungeon. The hero cuts one of the remaining monsters with his purple blade, stating that these creatures still provide a decent amount of EXP. He acknowledges that the synchronization of the power increase is perfect. He smiles upon noting that leveling up fully restored his MP, returning to 120 out of 120. This total recovery was what he needed to test his new abilities. With the energy-filled blade in hand, he prepares for combat. It is the ideal time to test the Deceptive Blade skill while the remaining monsters remain in a chaotic state due to the effects of the previous skills. He activates the Chaotic Thorns skill repeatedly, releasing countless projections of the ability that surround the monsters. With each activation, the effect of Deceptive Blade is triggered, gaining plus 10% attack. Several notifications of plus 10% attack per MP consumption stack over the hero. Quickly, he reaches the bonus of plus 120% accumulated attack power in his Deceptive Blade, with plenty of duration left. With his eyes shining intensely, the protagonist faces the battle, feeling the immense wave of power he has just accumulated. He is ready to unleash his new full strength against the enemies. In an agile move, he heads toward a muscular orc. The hero is surprised by the versatility and stacking potential, realizing that this ability breaks all class conventions. He delivers a quick side slash with the blade, creating a shocking energy trail in the air. The speed and strength of the attack indicate the effectiveness of the 120% attack bonus. The hero passes close to the orc's body with a curved, intense cut, keeping his momentum. The skill's energy forms a massive arc that hits the monster square in the torso. While the orc screams, the protagonist finishes his movement and prepares for the next strike. The damage is visibly overwhelming, showing the power of his inversion. Meanwhile, the squire watches our boy fight the monsters with a look of astonishment. He cannot believe what he is seeing. He still questions whether that is really our boy. He wonders how a level 5 chanter could have such ability and perform such skilled and powerful movements. The protagonist attacks with his spinning energy blade. With his newly acquired level 6 attributes, he knows he can push his abilities to the limit. Our boy leaps over a fallen monster, calculating the damage potential. With 120 MP and 1 MP regenerated per second, he theorizes that he can reach 2.3 times his base attack power. He steps victoriously on the fallen creature, which is identified as a level 11 lesser demon. The hero reflects on the true extent of his current strength after the skill inversions. With a confident smile and his eyes shining, he is satisfied with the result of his tests. The new strength he acquired is immense and surprising. A powerful attack with red and purple energy explodes in the area, lifting large rocks. The hero believes that, in his current state, he could barely handle the approaching level 2 elites. Then he observes the red mist and the devastation of the battle, with a serious expression. The background environment reflects the overwhelming power of his recent attacks. The status sheet of the battlefield Chimera, level 21, appears, a greater demon with 10,020 HP. This is the real threat he will have to face next. As the Chimera manifests, surrounded by lesser monsters, the protagonist is ready to face the true challenge. The battlefield Chimera charges at high speed, revealing its beastly and ferocious form. The protagonist prepares, brandishing his energy blade to intercept the creature. The squire is in panic, with crooked glasses and a shocked face. He screams, unable to accept the overwhelming strength and speed of the demonic beast. Our boy, shrouded in a dark aura and with glowing eyes, identifies the threat. A hidden boss of level 21 inside a dungeon of this level is something completely unexpected. The Chimera attacks with gigantic ferocity, opening its demonic jaws in a roar. The hero shrinks back, seeming small before the overwhelming strength of the superior level demon. Our boy tries to counterattack, but a notification appears on the screen. Chaotic Thorns failed against Chimera. The beast growls, immune to the crowd control effects of the ability. The target is immune to the chaos state, nullifying the protagonist's main debuff skill. He realizes the difficulty of the fight, as he cannot rely on the control effect of the inverted ability. As the Chimera charges, the companion shouts a warning for our boy to be careful, and in the blink of an eye, the danger approaches too quickly. The squire throws himself in front of our boy and already uses his ability, creating a yellow protective shield. Our boy's eyes narrow, and he is surprised at what he is seeing. For for at that moment he remembers his past life when his friend always defended him. But his friend always argued with him when he did such foolish things, always warning him that he had already told him not to charge in like that and questioning why he never listened. The protagonist opens his eyes and returns to the present moment, saying that he cannot keep wandering in thought right now. But at that moment, Xiaoji is struck and thrown back by the monster's attack, surrounded by shield fragments. He suffers considerable damage while trying to protect our boy. The impact of the hidden boss's attack against the ground is violent, raising debris and something reddish that remains inside the body. The monster's strength is undeniable, and Xiaoji risked his life for the defense. Our boy moves at high speed across the battlefield. He complains about Xiaoji's recklessness, as if he were asking for death by sacrificing himself. The wounded Xiaoji is seen lying on the battlefield after being struck. Our boy lands at a safe distance while watching the ally, who urgently needs healing. The protagonist uses the basic heal skill on Xiaoji, but the effect is pitiful. The heal gives only +1 HP, but since it consumes MP, the effect of Deceptive Blade is activated, granting +10% attack. The pathetic heal repeats, but this time lands a critical hit, resulting in +5 HP. The laughable healing effect barely manages to stop the ally's bleeding, but it continues to increase his attack. In a wider view, our boy, level 6, and the squire, level 6, are shown. The hero admits that the healing skills of chanters are truly pathetic, and asks if the ally has HP potions. The protagonist feels the power of the Deceptive Blade with +110% attack, but time is running out. He instructs his companion to drink the last emergency potion bottle, needing all the help possible. He turns to the great boss. Despite his current strength, he acknowledges that he is still no match for the boss. However, he has a plan to turn the tide soon. With a determined look, he focuses on the battlefield. He notices that the smaller monsters around are almost all defeated. Eliminating the monsters is essential for his strategy. With an aura surrounding his arm and blade, he gives the final order to his companion. He asks Xiaoji to hold on for just one more minute, assuring that his plan will work. The companion, with injuries on his face and in shock, watches the protagonist, unable to understand what he intends to do. Our boy springs into action, unleashing a frantic sequence of strikes. He needs to burn through his MP quickly, stacking as much attack as possible in the remaining time. A message appears, level +1. Immediately, HP and MP are fully restored. He takes advantage of the status increase to continue his assault, activating Deceptive Blade and Chaotic Thorns. As he unleashes more attacks, he makes a mental calculation. He needs at least +400% stacked attack to have a chance of defeating the level 21 hidden boss, a very risky goal. In full motion, he acknowledges that Deceptive Blade lasts only 60 seconds. He has little time to execute his plan and must use it with maximum precision and speed. Our boy keeps spamming the Chaotic Thorns skill. He needs to use this ability 40 times in 50 seconds to reach the desired +400% attack mark before the buff expires. The protagonist is immersed in his strategy, focused on gaining power. He makes the final calculation and realizes that to have any chance, he desperately needs to reach level 10 as fast as possible. Xiaoji is panicked, his face sweaty and wounded, shouting in shock as he sees the fury and power of the Chimera and our boy's reckless movements in the midst of combat. Our boy mercilessly slaughters the remaining mobs, while several level up +1 boxes appear in sequence. The spam of skills and defeat of the lesser enemies are bearing fruit. After the mobs are cleared, the updated character information screen appears. Yunche has reached level 12. His MP and agility, 16, have increased significantly. Our boy's eyes shine intensely, with his energy rising even higher. He feels the power surge and confirms that the accumulated stacks are more than enough to execute the planned strike. With his eyes glowing and face focused, he finalizes the count of the Deceptive Blade buffs. The hero strikes, knowing the final blow will be more than enough for the boss. Our boy charges at the monster in a massive lateral slash. His blade is overcharged and glowing intensely, ready for decisive contact against the Chimera. A sequence of powerful energy strikes hits the battlefield Chimera squarely. The attack is fast and continuous, giving no time for the great hidden boss to react. The battlefield Chimera lets out a roar of pain, signaling that our boy's heavy strikes managed to pierce its defense. The monster is finally feeling the full impact. The Chimera continues to be struck by the ultra-fast and amplified blows of the blade. Blood and energy gush, showing that our boy's attack power was lethal. The protagonist ends his sequence with a spinning arc slash. He pulls back from the beast, knowing he has dealt the maximum damage possible and that the battle is about to reach a definitive end. The HP of the battlefield Chimera, level 21, hits 0. The The monster is finally defeated by the concentrated strike of the protagonist. The companion, Xiao Ji, pale-faced and wounded, cannot believe what just happened. He asks aloud if it was all just a dream, so great was the difference in power he witnessed. Then our boy stands confidently over the remains of the chimera, his energy blade still glowing. A level up +3 notification appears, confirming that the level 5 chanter proved his worth. The golden character status screen appears. Our boy is now level 15. His MP, willpower, and agility attributes are much higher, and he has 9 available points to distribute. A clear golden message appears, announcing success. The dungeon lord has been defeated, and consequently, the dungeon has been cleared. Amid the smoke and the monster's remains, Xiao Ji approaches our boy. He questions him again in shock, asking if he really is Yun Che. Our boy ignores the question and looks at the ground. He receives the notification to collect dropped items, but his companion insists, asking how he suddenly became so strong. With a serious expression, our boy looks at Xiao Ji and recalls his old comrade from the past. Then he calls out, Xiao Ji, to ask something. The protagonist, with a serious expression, faces his companion. He directly questions the boy, asking what his relation is to Xiao Benbin. Shocked and with a frightened face, he reveals that Xiao Benbin was his great-grandfather's nickname. Then he asks how our boy knows that. The protagonist, with wide eyes, digests the information. The nickname, Xiao Benbin, belonging to his teammate's great-grandfather, adds a new and disturbing layer of mystery to his life. Our boy looks at Xiao Ji amid the debris, trying to process the idea that the squire is in fact the great-grandson of Xiao Benbin, a figure who was his best friend in the past. In a flashback, our boy remembers Xiao Benbin sitting with his shield, who is called Insolent Brat by him. The protagonist returns to reality, questioning himself in a low voice. He believed that all the people he knew had been killed by order of Luo Wei, which makes this discovery even more shocking. Our boy tries to question Xiao Ji about the current state of his great-grandfather, but the squire quickly interrupts him. He states that there is no need to talk about the relative at that moment. Xiao Ji, with a look of sadness, tells our boy that he does not need to answer his question if he doesn't want to. The squire chooses not to force the matter, respecting the allies' silence. With the attention turned to him, our boy does not understand the companion's attitude. The squire says that he does not need to be humiliated in that way, which leaves the protagonist confused. Xiao Ji, standing amid the destroyed landscape, confronts our boy with a new suspicion. He states he doesn't know the reason, but believes that our boy has hidden his true strength all this time. Ignoring the discussion, Xiao Ji changes the focus. He reminds that they must return to school, because tomorrow there will be a visit to the memorial, and absence may draw unwanted attention. Our boy, with a somber expression, watches the companion walk away. The mystery of Luo Wei and Xiao Ji's great-grandfather remains unanswered. Our boy decides that he cannot reveal his identity yet, because Xiao Ji could become suspicious if he knew too much. He agrees to leave, walking away from the trail of destruction in the dungeon. He accompanies Xiao Ji, thinking about the visit to school the next day. The destination is the Modern History Memorial Hall, a place that must cover the period when he was dead. The duo returns to the city, showing a bustling and futuristic metropolis. Our boy believes that the memorial must cover the events that happened after he died, which intrigues him. And inside this transport is filled with other enthusiastic and noisy students. Our boy and Xiao Ji are sitting quietly, observing the environment and trying to blend in. Sitting together, our boy and Xiao Ji rest for a moment. The difference between the two, one calm and the other still nervous, is clear after the intense and secret battle in the dungeon. Our boy reflects on the society around him, noticing the changes in architecture and technology. He comments mentally about how times have drastically changed since he was alive. He observes a street with mixed architecture, realizing that the world has changed a lot after so many years dead. It is surprising that they use dungeon products to energize transport vehicles. Our boy notices that many things are new to him, but some modern technologies had already been seen in dungeons in the past. The shock of the new reality is constant. The protagonist opens his inventory screen, seeing the dungeon items. He questions why there are items that are not monster drops, which goes against the rules he knew. He focuses on a new item, the Chimera Bone Ring, Epic. The ring, made from the boss's rib, allows the user to attach a chimera limb to his own body, a powerful level 14 acquisition. Our boy handles a skill book, Robust Physique, of excellent quality and passive type. He discovers that equipment and skill books can be taken out of the inventory and traded outside of dungeons. The protagonist absorbs the information of the skill Robust Physique, a passive and permanent ability whose effect is the reduction of physical damage received in combat. The protagonist realizes that items that cannot be stored in the inventory should disappear with the secret realm. The protagonist is heading to the memorial. He questions with a serious expression what really happened after he died. It doesn't take long, and they arrive at the hero's memorial that was based on lies. Yun-che, amid the crowd, observes the environment. He feels that the official history is hiding something crucial behind all this peace. The protagonist faces the imposing statue. The guide reveres it, calling it the supreme ruler of the realm, the emperor who ended the disasters of the secret realms. Luo Wei, a student, points to the exact place where they are. More than 50 years ago, this place was the battlefield of the famous War of Rebellion, according to history. Our boy is called by Xiaoji. The protagonist walks toward a wall with the drawing of Luo Wei and at that moment manifests an aura of hatred. Standing in front of this wall, the protagonist recognizes the traitor. He realizes that the king in whom he trusted betrayed him, and he was turned into the traitor Yun-che. The protagonist is surrounded by his dark aura. He confronts the memory, "We cleared the secret realm level SSS, but were ambushed by Luo Wei." The museum teacher, with his face twisted with emotion, speaks of the pain of betrayal. He says it is impossible to imagine how painful it must be to be betrayed in such a situation. The teacher gestures enthusiastically. He narrates a dramatic story about the king overcoming sadness and fighting with blood and courage. The guide continues the narration, pointing to a statue. He states that, with the help of the hero Ding Kuan, the king finally managed to suppress the rebellion and restore peace to the realm. Our boy, who is watching the presentation, narrows his eyes. The name awakens his memory. Ding Kuan? He questions mentally, trying to remember the person who was called a hero. Thoughtful, the protagonist looks around. He wonders if such a person had really existed in his time, showing distrust about what is being told in the memorial. Xiaoji notices a group of people entering and is surprised, because that figurant and his colleagues have just arrived, and the sticker still does not understand how it is possible that they have escaped the newly formed dungeon. The stickers in black smiles maliciously, standing beside a companion with a sack mouth since he does not stop smiling pathetically. He comments that the dungeon must have been cleared quickly by a master who was nearby. The stickers concludes that Xiaoji's group had incredible luck to bump into those masters who cleared the dungeon. The irony in his tone is palpable. Our boy stares at the newcomers, realizing that they are not just ordinary people. He recognizes the dark aura and the familiarity, knowing that these people are a potential threat. The students whisper about Ding Su, the figurant who entered. Another colleague questions Xiaoji if he encountered a dungeon disaster, ignoring the danger he actually faced. Two schoolgirls with green uniforms look at the squire with disdain. One of them expresses sarcastic surprise, wondering how he survived that, mocking his luck. The man in black, Ding Su, puts his arm on Xiaoji's shoulder and leans in. He intimidates him, saying that the squire was very lucky to have come out of the dungeon alive. Xiaoji tries to move away, but he is frightened, stammering. He tries to defend himself from the comments, realizing that Ding Su's group is the true cause of everything. Ding Su continues the verbal attack, stating that Xiaoji almost dragged them into the dungeon that day. He pressures the squire, asking how he plans to resolve this debt. Xiaoji reacts angrily, pointing out that the fault of everything was clearly theirs. He threatens to report the incident, in a desperate attempt to free himself from the situation. The squire shouts in panic. He reveals that the aggressors almost got him and our boy killed in the incident, but his threat to report what happened is ineffective. Ding Su squeezes Xiaoji's head, looking him in the eyes with contempt. He tells the squire that he has no idea of the situation he is in and what is happening there. The figurant points to the statue in the memorial hall. He orders Xiaoji to look at the statue of the hero that is in the center of the room. The image of the statue is clear to everyone, for to them this is the hero who is executing a traitor of the realm. Then the stickers humiliates him, telling him to see his ancestor being trampled by the hero. Ding Su continues the humiliation, revealing that the true name of Xiaoji's ancestor is Xiao En. He accuses him of being a descendant of a traitor, questioning who would support him. The stickers gets irritated. In a loud voice, he shouts that they can insult him, but they cannot insult his grandfather. Xiaoji notices the unexpected reaction of the figurant and is completely surprised. The crowd of students who were already watching the commotion murmur. They wonder what is happening and why the hero Ding Kuan, Ding Su's grandfather, is being mentioned. Our boy is tense, with the aura in his eyes glowing. He does not react to the crowd, only focuses on the confrontation. The students continue to gossip, recognizing Xiaoji next to our boy. They call him the descendant of Xiao En and criticize the descendant of a traitor for insulting a hero in the modern world. Ding Su's henchman justifies the humiliation, saying that the ancestor Xiao En massacred many people. He states that if the hero had not intervened, many more would have died. Ding Su shouts at Xiaoji, saying that he does not care what he says behind his back, but the squire has no right to insult his ancestor in front of everyone. The teacher intervenes, arriving behind Xiao Ji. He states that he has always been fair and says that he will speak a few words of justice for the situation. The teacher stares at Xiao Ji and, ignoring Ding Su's aggression, orders categorically that the squire apologize immediately for the incident. The teacher continues to pressure the squire, stating that the hero spared his family at the time. He demands that Xiao Ji not slander the hero, even if he does not feel gratitude. Xiao Ji stands alone in the middle of the hall. The pressure and humiliation from the teacher and the students make the situation even more desolate for the squire. Ding Su approaches, placing his hand on his head. With a sadistic smile, he warns that if he hits Xiao Ji there in public, everyone will only applaud the act. Surrounded by the crowd of students who look at him with disdain, Ding Su bellows the final humiliation. He says that no one will help a rabid dog getting beaten, and that Xiao Ji is a particularly despised dog. Ding Su grabs the squire's hair and pulls it, exposing Xiao Ji's head to the crowd. He questions him if he still thinks that he, the descendant of a hero, would be wrong. Ding Su, with his teeth bared in an expression of satisfaction, prepares to punch Xiao Ji. He shouts that he will do this for the honor of his ancestor, intensifying the physical and emotional attack. But the punch is interrupted by a size 40 boot, and Ding Su's expression changes from fury to pain. In a lightning movement, our boy kicks Ding Su, throwing him far away. The intervention is abrupt and violent in the way everyone likes, and with this dialogue puts an end to the bully's physical aggression. The squire, with his face lifted, looks back in shock and disbelief. He can barely react to the attack, not understanding that our boy defended him with extreme politeness. Our boy, standing with his aura, observes Ding Su on the ground. He questions sarcastically if the family of the hero does not have time to discipline their brats. Our boy is standing over the body of Ding Su, who was knocked out. The students watch him, shocked, asking if that is really Yun Che and how he dares to hit Ding Su. The crowd is in an uproar. The students wonder if our boy has gone crazy, questioning what he meant with the lack of discipline and if he is trying to insult the hero's family as well. As the confusion spreads, the students recall that Yun Che was only level 5 and considered the weakest in the class. They question if he has gone insane for attacking Ding Su. Ding Su stands up, with his face injured and his teeth showing, spitting blood. He mocks, saying that our boy has no parents and is a pariah and that his brain must have finally gone completely mad. Ding Su on the ground watches our boy, with his shoulder in pain. He thinks that the squire was just a punching bag and that the aggressor dared to attack him while he was distracted. Suddenly, Ding Su's henchmen charge towards our boy with fists full of energy. The leader of the group smiles, saying he will take care of all of them together. Our boy turns his face to face the new aggressors. The hero lets out a grunt of disdain and prepares to fight the attackers. In a sequence of punches and kicks, our boy strikes the 3 henchmen and the chief extra at high speed. The power of his fists is amplified, sending the aggressors flying away one by one. The chief extra hits the ground with a dry sound, lying motionless. The strength of our boy's punch was surprising and left him completely incapacitated. Ding Su, who spits blood after being smashed together with his henchmen with a single blow. He is terrified by the newly revealed power of our boy. Ding Su and one of his henchmen are lying on the ground, while the crowd of students watches, confused, questioning what is happening in the hall. Ding Su, with his lip bleeding and his mind stunned, slowly stands up. He can barely process what happened, asking himself how he was knocked down by our boy. The students watch the scene in astonishment and disbelief. They whisper, asking each other if they saw what happened, and how he was knocked down again in that way. Ding Su asks himself if he is really so weak as to be defeated by someone he considered insignificant. The humiliation shakes his confidence. Ding Su invokes his fire aura and uses the skill Fury, which increases his attack power by plus 25%. He shouts, furious, asking how a trash level 5 support can be stronger than him. He equips his fire-forged hammer, gaining a plus 314 attack increase. Convinced that it was just our boy's luck, he prepares to retaliate with full force. Ding Su attacks, brandishing a gigantic flaming hammer. He launches himself against our boy, seeking to retaliate the attack and crush the opponent with the power of his weapon. Our boy dodges the attack with agility, passing close to the aggressor's body. He realizes that the opening in Ding Su's strike is too large, indicating inexperience or overconfidence. Our boy counterattacks, hitting Ding Su with a punch amplified by the deceptive blade. The skill has plus 80% attack power and still has 14 seconds of duration left. Our boy's attack hits Ding Su, who widens his eyes in pain and disbelief, spitting blood. He is shocked by the strength and speed, shouting that this is impossible. Our boy finishes the fight with a powerful kick against the fallen body of Ding Su, who is already on the ground. The impact makes a loud noise, demonstrating the hero's strength. A uniformed security guard runs to the scene of the fight, shouting, "What is happening here?" He stops, shocked by the scene of violence and the students gathered. The security guard approaches. Ding Su is unconscious on the ground with our boy standing over him. The man asks if there is any squire nearby trying to deal with the emergency. The crowd of students is shocked by the speed of our boy. They comment that it was too fast and wonder how he, who was level 5, has so much strength. Two female students who had previously mocked Xiao Ji watch the protagonist with expressions of surprise and fear. The power of our boy silenced the contempt of everyone in the hall. The security guard scolds everyone, shouting that it is not allowed to fight in the museum and that something might be damaged. He turns to the teacher, asking if he cannot control his student. Our boy's teacher intervenes, standing between the security guard and the protagonist. He scolds our boy, ordering him to stop immediately and accusing him of attacking the descendant of a hero. The teacher looks at our boy from head to toe with a look of disdain, classifying the student's attitude as shameless. He prepares to use a skill or item against the protagonist. Our boy, with a cold expression and glowing eyes, raises the hand where the chimera bone ring is. He is ready to face the teacher. The teacher invokes an item, but our boy reacts instantly, releasing a wave of purple energy in the form of spells. The security guard and the students watch the escalation of the fight in panic. The situation has become uncontrollable, since our boy is facing his own teacher in public. Our boy, wrapped in energy, confronts the teacher who claims to be fair. He points out that, in the end, the teacher only listened to Ding Su's version of the facts, exposing the hypocrisy. The teacher is terrified by our boy's skill and by the exposure of his partiality. He shouts, accusing the student of trying to gain the favor of Ding Su's family and ordering him to stop talking nonsense. The teacher looks at our boy's hand, which blocked his surprise attack with ease, noticing the chimera bone ring. He questions the quality of the equipment and how the student obtained it. Our boy, imposing in his purple aura, downplays his own action, saying that he was only pointing out that the teacher does not seem to be the kind of person he claims to be. While the fight is being observed, the teacher, confused, asks himself where our boy got that equipment and if he has some powerful support. He swears that he will investigate the conflict thoroughly. The protagonist focuses on his ring, seeing the durability drop to 37%. He notes that even being epic quality, the item is too weak to face a level 35 teacher. Our boy, uninterested in continuing, proposes a simple solution to the teacher. As punishment for the fight, the teacher should only expel both of them from the museum and end the matter there. The teacher, visibly shaken by the display of strength and the unexpected proposal, agrees. Our boy turns and calls Xiao Ji to leave, turning his back to the memorial hall. Xiao Ji is in total shock. He sees the protagonist leaving and realizes that he even blocked the teacher's attack. The people behind them remain, asking if a student is really capable of doing this. The teacher runs in panic, ordering them to use a healing spell on Ding Su. Another student shouts that Ding Su is already fine, showing the hero's descendants' rapid recovery. Our boy and Xiao Ji leave the memorial hall, going down the stairs. The tumultuous situation is left behind, but the protagonist's thoughts turn to the lies of history. Our boy confirms to himself the sad truth. No one survived. Benben was killed long ago by that supposed hero. The story of Ding Kuan is a farce to cover up a murder. Xiao Ji stares at our boy with admiration in his eyes. The defense and strength that the protagonist demonstrated in the museum completely changed the squire's perception. Xiao Ji asks our boy, who does not seem very attentive, more details about the hero Ding Kuan. He believes that our boy will answer anything he asks at the moment. The squire begins to remember fragments of the story of the hero Ding Kuan, but admits that he does not remember exactly the details, revealing a superficial knowledge of the official story. Xiao Ji narrates that the hero discovered the traitor Yun Che's plan in advance. The hero set up an ambush near the SSS-Level rift to support the defense and end the rebellion crisis. Our boy listens to the story with a dark smile. He focuses on Xiao Ji's words, an ambush near the rift? The lie aligns with the knowledge he has of the past. A bloody visual memory arises, fallen warriors and swords stuck in the ground. The protagonist, in armor, sits alone on the battlefield in a scene of war and tragedy. The memory is of a fierce battle, with knights fighting amidst bodies. The massacre of warriors dressed like those from the memorial reveals the true nature of the confrontation. The memory is of a young warrior with red eyes and a face covered in blood, screaming in fury and pain during the battle. He was one of those who fought in the past. Xiao Ji continues the official story, stating that hero Ding Kuan had as his goal to end the dungeon crisis and trained hard for that. The squire continues the narration, saying that Ding Kuan, after being promoted by the king, fought for years, saving regions from various disasters. Xiao Ji mentions great battles such as the famous cataclysm of the City of Winter, while the image shows Ding Kuan in armor, fighting against several demon-like monsters. Our boy looks at the horizon, his expression hardened. The name of the City of Winter resonates, triggering more memories about the events that culminated in his death and betrayal. Then he remembers remembers how he was alone on a mountain of fallen monsters. Our boy is there, wearing the cloak and the sword, amidst a devastated landscape. He lets out a grunt of disdain. Our boy stares at the statue of Ding Kuan, focused on the sword the statue is holding. The weapon is familiar, adding another piece to the puzzle of the betrayal. Xiao Ji, not noticing the tension, mentions the name of the sword, Flowing Cloud Sword. He explains that the weapon was used to kill the traitor Yun Che and is considered a top-tier weapon. The fury grows in our boy's eyes. He realizes that Ding Kuan not only took credit for his achievements, but also framed him as a traitor to steal his glory. Our boy, with a dark fury, states that Ding Kuan even took his sword. He makes the final decision. He will begin his revenge by killing Ding Kuan. The scene opens in a city with luxurious architecture, highlighting large mansions and well-kept gardens. Our boy and Xiaoji arrive in a new urban area, and this place is outside the Ding family property. Several armored guards patrol the area, and our boy can clearly see their high levels. One of the guards, a level 33 adventurer, turns, sensing the presence of intruders. His eyes glow with energy, showing that he is on high alert. Our boy and Xiaoji hide behind a column, watching the guards. The protagonist is crouched, while Xiaoji is worried, both trying to go unnoticed. The level 33 guard, still with his back turned, sneers. He uses a derogatory term, thinking the intruder is just a brat. He shifts his attention away from the spot where our boy was hiding. Our boy, peeking from the column, notices the guard's level of alertness. He concludes that the man must be a vagrant with the skill, Scout, which makes the infiltration much more difficult. Xiao Ji, visibly nervous, tries to convince our boy that they should leave. There are too many guards, and if Ding Su returns they will be completely finished. Our boy, with a focused gaze, states that he wants to directly kill the so-called hero Ding Kuan, without beating around the bush. The thirst for revenge is the main motivation for his action. He ponders that, according to Xiao Ji, Ding Kuan is residing in a high-level rift. Unlike in his past life, he cannot freely enter and leave the dungeons. 4 high-level rifts are now guarded by the armed forces, and an access pass is required to enter them. Yun Che watches the guards of the mansion. He questions whether Ding Su's house must also have a private rift, given the security and level of power. The protagonist questions the need for so many guards, since they are only one branch of the many descendants of the hero Ding Kuan. Xiao Ji explains that the Ding family is descended from a hero and that their house even seals a rift on their land, which justifies the security. Yun Che is surprised by the information, questioning Xiao Ji. A rift? Inside the house? The concept of private rifts is new to him. Xiao Ji confirms the information, revealing that low-level rifts are bought and sold in secret in the current world. The squire continues to explain, saying that most people do not have the power or influence to even dream of owning a private rift. He says that at school Ding Su can bring guards to farm monsters and level up whenever he wants, while common students fight for rift training. Yun Che smiles with a dark look. He reflects that times have truly changed, with level ascension becoming an elite privilege. He questions Xiao Ji, so, basically, the richer and more powerful you are, the higher your level? The squire answers yes, confirming the new social reality. He says that most people graduate between levels 15 and 20, and without access to rifts, their levels stagnate forever. The squire continues talking about level ascension in the current world. He says that, if you get a job related to rifts like mining or being a forest guard, the situation improves. Our boy and Xiao Ji observe the guards of the Ding Su property, who range from level 29 to 33. Xiao Ji mentions that an ordinary individual should only reach level 30 in middle age. The conversation continues, showing the disparity of classes. The squire explains that, besides that, only army recruits or those who pass exams access higher level rifts. Our boy reflects on what he just heard, knowing that he needs to overcome the level barrier. He concludes that, to get stronger, he absolutely needs that elite pass. Xiao Ji is worried about the level gap, begging that they simply return. He insists that, with such a difference in level, our boy cannot defeat the skilled guards. The protagonist, shrouded in his dark aura, acknowledges the disparity of power. He knows that, with his current strength, he is far from being able to kill that hero directly. However, he analyzes the guards, noticing a flaw. Level 30 scout skills usually have a small range, insufficient to cover the entire property at all times. He notes that, since the private rift is not life or death, most guards are quite lazy. He smiles, concluding that entering there is more than possible for an infiltrator. Xiao Ji reacts comically to the word lazy, confused. He cannot imagine who would be lazy in such a dangerous job. Our boy ignores the squire's confusion. He explains that, even if they manage to enter in a private rift, they can be killed without consequences, warning of the risk. Xiao Ji Ji is pulled back by our boy, who grabs him by the collar of his shirt. The squire is frightened, questioning why they are being dragged to such a dangerous place. Our boy looks into Xiao Ji's eyes, challenging him. He asks if the squire doesn't want to change his life and break free from the constant humiliation he suffers. Xiao Ji stammers, stating that of course he does, but that would only be possible if he managed to enter a guild or an officer corps in the future. Our boy counters with an intense look. He questions whether entering one of those places would really change Xiao Ji's life, the great-grandson of the traitor Xiao En. The protagonist calls his ally's name and fixes him with a serious look, reinforcing the weight of his lineage and the difficulty of ascending socially with the label of descendant of traitor. Our boy states that destiny can only be changed in the present, not by betting on an uncertain future. He pushes the decision onto Xiao Ji. The protagonist walks away, leaving the final decision to the squire. He says he will not let this rift pass, and Xiao Ji decides whether he will follow him or not. Our boy has his back turned, but he thinks of Xiao Ji's ancestor, Benbin. The scene ends with the memory of the name, connecting the present to the past. The protagonist's mind questions the past of his friend, Benbin. He wonders if Benbin's descendant, Xiao Ji, will make the same choice he made in the past. Xiao Ji, with a determined look, runs after our boy. He shouts that he cannot let him go die alone, choosing to join his ally in the dangerous mission. Our boy whispers to Xiao Ji that he must stay quiet. He confirms that there are no signs of summoning-type scout skills in the mansion area. The protagonist moves Xiao Ji, showing that they can infiltrate without being detected. He states that as long as they stay silent, entry will be easy. Our boy uses his speed to jump over the property wall, acting like a scout. The plan is to avoid lines of sight and pass unnoticed by the guards. The duo manages to enter the Ding family property. Our boy smiles, stating that by coordinating the movement, the infiltration was incredibly easy. Xiao Ji is clearly surprised by our boy's infiltration success, but he can only mumble, shocked by his ally's ability. In the middle of the courtyard, they find a rift pulsing beneath the ground, full of energy. Our boy observes it, recognizing the hidden portal. The duo enters the place, which seems to be a ruined cemetery. Monsters like dark demon zombies, level 6 and 8, are seen with levels slightly above the last rift. Our boy, on top of some tombstones, observes that there are not many monsters. He deduces that the rift is regularly cleaned by Ding Su's team. He points to two small mobs approaching and challenges Xiao Ji to face them. The squire is terrified, unable to understand the request. Xiao Ji panics at the suggestion, asking if he really has to fight. He's certain he stands no chance of winning alone, given his class. Xiao Ji screams in despair as a zombie lunges. He tries to raise a yellow energy shield, lamenting aloud that he can't believe he trusted our boy. A zombie with raw flesh on its face approaches the squire. Xiao Ji screams in terror, thinking he should never have entered such a dangerous rift. The squire is cornered by the two zombies who attack him. He panics, crying out that he wants to go home, feeling overwhelmed by the fight. Our boy watches from a distance as Xiao Ji struggles to maintain his yellow shield. The squire protests that he cannot fight, but our boy encourages him to at least try to retaliate. The protagonist stands with his arms crossed, observing his ally battle the zombies. He reassures the squire that with him watching, nothing truly bad will happen. Xiao Ji focuses on the shield protecting him, his face contorted in effort. The interface shows his status as shield bearer, level 6, with full HP and MP. With a shout of fury and the aid of the shield, Xiao Ji strikes a zombie. The force of the blow is unexpected, and he manages to hold his ground in combat. Xiao Ji's eyes shine with fear but also determination as the zombie advances again. He faces the threat head-on, if only briefly. Staggering, Xiao Ji is forced to retreat from the zombie. The shield protects him, but the monster's physical power pushes him back. Our boy, smiling in satisfaction, observes the squire's reaction. He confirms that this is exactly as I thought, validating his theory about Xiao Ji's potential. He analyzes Xiao Ji's fighting style, noticing that the ally has great talent. Though timid and primarily defensive, his spatial awareness is subconsciously precise. The protagonist continues to watch. The fight seems dangerous, but thanks to the shield, Xiao Ji takes almost no damage, confirming the class's potential. Xiao Ji screams that he can't endure it any longer as a zombie strikes him. Our boy reflects that most people give up not out of weakness, but from a lack of courage to challenge themselves. At that moment, our boy attacks the zombies with his deceptive blade, an attack with plus 70% power. The experience is crucial for the allies' growth. The zombies fall, and Xiao Ji's status screen pops up. He's now level 7, shocking him. Our boy thinks of the squire's great-grandfather and the first step he took. Our boy summons the resentful bone blade, a new red bone weapon. He reminds Xiaoji that XP is based on contribution, and without attacking he gains nothing. The protagonist wields the blade, realizing that even if the zombies die, Xiaoji won't earn much XP. The weapon has attack plus 62 and magic attack plus 11. Xiaoji approaches our boy. He reveals that he distributed his status points evenly across all stats except spirit. Our boy notes how agile his movements are. He reflects that shield bearers usually sacrifice agility for defense and strength. Xiaoji's profile is atypical, showing him as a different kind of fighter. Xiaoji explains his fear. If he's slow, no one wants him on the school team. Slow tanks are ignored and others kill the mobs before he can reach them. Our boy instructs Xiaoji to think long-term. He explains that advanced level 60 classes require specific stat prerequisites and cannot be allocated randomly. He gives an example. The Fortified Bastion class needs 60 vigor and 90 defense. It's a path that demands careful planning from the start. Xiaoji responds with a smile, saying most people only reach level 40 in life, and planning for level 60 is for S-rank players. Our boy places his hand on Xiaoji's shoulder, encouraging him. He sees potential in the squire and treats him with the seriousness he deserves. The protagonist looks him in the eyes, saying that from now on, the shield bearer can start aiming for S-rank and elite classes. Xiaoji is completely shocked by the suggestion. He can barely react, realizing that what our boy proposes is far beyond current S-rank standards. Our boy steps back, reflecting that he also needs to start planning his own support class's advancement towards something more offensive. The protagonist displays his skill interface. He acknowledges that his support class only turned the tide thanks to the hidden skill, Mirror World. He concludes with a determined look that, barring unexpected events, he will likely change his class to one focused on offense. Our boy is surprised by a notification. The skill, Mirror World, gained plus 2000 EXP from converting monster souls. He wonders if his hidden skill can level up. The protagonist attacks one of the zombies in the rift with fierce intensity. A powerful aura surrounds his fist, and the blow lands squarely on the monster's chest. He follows up with a strike from his blade, demonstrating the offensive power he now wields, even without any active buffs. Our boy leaps over a tomb, noticing that the deceptive blade buff has finally expired. The plus 70% attack boost was crucial, but it's gone. He attempts a final strike on a remaining zombie, incredulous. Quietly, he wonders how the creature is still alive after a full power attack. With the attack buff gone, our boy steps back from the greed demon, level 17, assaulting him. The monster is tough, and without the bonus, the fight becomes more challenging. He retreats from the wounded monster, realizing that while the deceptive blade skill is powerful, it cannot sustain him through prolonged combat. Blood drips from the level 17 greed demon, and our boy reflects that his own endurance isn't enough to handle extended fights against higher level foes. A level up +1 notification appears before his eyes. He considers how quickly he's leveling, 2 levels gained already, far faster than normal. His character status screen shows he's now level 17 with 3 free points. Additionally, his skill, Mirror World, gained plus 2000 EXP from killing elite zombies. Our boy smiles, noticing a loot portal appearing. He's pleased, knowing that defeating these monsters also builds experience for Mirror World. Suddenly, the protagonist senses something unexpected. His attention sharpens, indicating a sudden shift in the infiltration situation. He jumps onto a rock behind him, alert to approaching threats. From a higher vantage point, our boy and Xiaoji observe the scene. He notices the Ding family guards are patrolling more frequently, increasing the mission's risk. Xiaoji is now level 8 after the fight. Our boy remarks that there are fewer monsters now, and if things continue, the likelihood of being discovered will only rise. He agrees that the situation is tense. While battling monsters, he must monitor patrols and track the deceptive blade's bonus and duration. The protagonist examines a newly acquired skill book, Mana Block Art. The skill allows forming a mana block in midair for 2 seconds and can be learned by castigos. He inverts the skill, creating phase shift or reverse. He notes that not every inverted skill is useful in combat, as this one only phases small objects. Checking his hidden skill, Mirror World, he sees it still requires 30% EXP to level up. He remains focused on enhancing his power. He concludes that even at level 1, skill inversion is extremely potent and expects it to improve further with level gains. With glowing eyes, our boy declares that if he kills the lord of this realm, he should instantly reach level 2. He surveys the top of the rift debris, realizing that in other realms he might not have earned EXP for his skill, confirming the value of this location. He decides to check the central area where the realm lord resides. Purple Purple spirits fly above a bone tower, signaling that the target is near. Our boy and Xiao Ji continue ascending the cavern. He notices that active scout skills in the area are becoming denser, indicating heightened security. He hides among the rocks, cautious, alert to the heavy surveillance and presence of high-level Ding family guards. Arriving at the boss area, our boy sees a realm lord chained, surrounded by several guards and other players lounging nearby. Xiao Ji notes it's his first time seeing a realm lord under control, concerned because school realm lords are usually protected by teachers. He observes the glowing purple chains restraining the lord, deducing that the item must be of extremely high level and value. Our boy silences Xiao Ji, analyzing the situation. The quiet indicates he is formulating a plan to take down the guards and either free or kill the lord. One guard separates from the group to relieve himself. Seeing the lapse in attention, our boy identifies an isolated attack opportunity. Disguised, he moves toward the guard, activating the deceptive blade with a 150% attack boost. Standing over the defeated guard, a crippled status notification appears. Our boy is ready for the next phase of infiltration. Wearing a bandana over his face, he prepares to interrogate and gather information. He orders the guard to speak truthfully if he wishes to avoid further harm. Terrified, the guard begs our boy not to hurt him, claiming the Ding family doesn't pay enough for him to die for them. Our boy silences the guard and focuses on the mission's priority, asking about the main objective. The guard, trembling, mentions the Hero Realm Pass, stating that there is a stack in his grandfather's study room, a common occurrence. Noticing our boy's intensity, the guard murmurs that the attacker must be a fan of the former realm lord for acting so extreme. Still terrified, the guard confirms he has seen his grandfather take passes multiple times with the head of the Ding family guards. Xiao Ji stands beside other unconscious guards, holding a temporary pass. He explains they are just temporary passes and do not record personal data. Our boy grabs the injured guard by the neck, growing impatient. The guard protests, but our boy demands everything in his system backpack immediately, beginning the item theft. Our boy and Xiao Ji exit the rift with the guard, reappearing at the Ding family mansion's perimeter, beginning the main infiltration mission. Pressing the nearly naked guard, our boy demands all his skill books. The guard, desperate, swears he only has an enchantment book. He complains that the Ding family is stingy. Anything dropped in the rift must be handed over, and they only keep some low-level equipment remnants. Using the stolen skill book, our boy inverts the skill, creating phase shift or reverse, passive. The effect grants plus 3% def for 10 seconds after being healed. He inverts the skill book again for his ally, producing a new effect, plus 6% ATK for 15 seconds after using a healing skill. This will benefit Xiao Ji. The guard points toward the main residence, explaining it is the family's inner quarters, inaccessible without summoning or direct permission. Our boy questions the residence levels. The guard admits that except for young Ding Su, everyone else is level 30 plus with top-tier equipment, and they don't even need guards. Our boy asks if this means he can grab the pass inside the inner residence. The guard panics, shouting that the head of the family is in there. Our boy uses the information to map the area. He locates the inner residence, the courtyard, and the rift, noting that the mustached guy, family head, is level 42. The guard warns our boy about the family hierarchy, showing a diagram. The grandfather and the third master are above level 50, so he definitely can't beat them. Our boy looks at the mansion, aware that the main head, level 42, and the grandfather, level 57, could return at any moment. Entering means facing a far superior level. He stands over the unconscious guard, now with a status, fainted. He orders Xiao Ji in an authoritative tone to stay put and wait. The Escudero mask on his face is ready to act. He reasons that if they can't enter to steal the pass, luring the head out will be the best solution. The scene focuses on the chained realm lord, wrapped in purple chains. Our boy, observing the magical chains, theorizes that the Ding family used a high-level chain to control the lord. As long as the lord lives, the realm won't disappear and can be used long-term. A guard drinks from a mug near the chains. Our boy concludes that the key to control is assigning guards to watch the chains lock, the system's most vulnerable part. Our boy hides, preparing the vengeful bone blade. He agrees the control method is safe unless someone is foolish enough to unlock the lord. The protagonist swiftly moves toward the inattentive guard. He masters the technique, having already mastered unlocking such chains in his past life. The chains holding the chained lord tremble. Other players look around, confused by the disturbance. Our boy is about to free the realm lord. Enveloped in a purple energy field, our boy finalizes the strategy. Using the realm lord to lure the main head out of the inner residence is the perfect plan. Inside the rift, the chained lord, a giant in armor, begins to struggle, going mad. Guards panic at the sudden loss of control over the boss. Outside the Ding family mansion, the main head appears, gesturing frantically. He shouts, ordering the guards not to waste time and to rush to support the Lord. The main head and the guards hurry into the rift to deal with the Lord. The Escudero, hidden, knows the path to the pass in the inner residence is now clear. Our boy is in the courtyard, handling the magical chains removed from the Lord. The system confirms, acquired level 60 equipment, and he can now easily enter the inner residence. The scene begins at the main gate of the Ding family's inner residence. Servants welcome the second master and the young master, who have just arrived in luxurious cars. Second master Ding Hao gets out of the car. He complains about the commotion just to pick him up, but a subordinate informs him that the pickup was merely a stop along the way. Smiling like an idiot, he opens the door and politely asks Miss Yun Sha to step out of the car. Two girls in school uniforms step out, showing the Ding family's connection with the academy and the students who were at the museum. Ding Hao smiles like a fool, greeting the two and welcoming them to his humble abode. Ding Hao then shows an expression of disgust and surprise. He notices something unusual at the entrance. He kicks the servant who was bowing. The attacker warns him not to block the way and hinder the entrance. He then accompanies the two students toward the mansion. The servant remains on the ground, showing the Ding family's cruelty and contempt. Qiao Ji is outside the mansion, hiding behind a tree. He tries to stay invisible after the fight at the museum. Our boy, approaching, questions Qiao Ji, asking if he can't enter because the Ding family has returned and if their presence is a major obstacle. Qiao Ji questions our boy's sudden appearance and asks why he came back so quickly. Our boy states that the Lord is a powerful target, and that capturing him alive won't be easy. The protagonist concludes confidently that without his interference destabilizing the Lord, the Ding family won't be able to subdue him anytime soon. He asks if Qiao Ji saw anything. Qiao Ji, looking at the mansion building, avoids the question. He mentions the person lying on the ground like an insect, saying that man is his uncle, shocking our boy. Qiao Ji says that man is his uncle, that he works for the Ding family, which complicates Qiao Ji's social standing. Qiao Ji reveals to our boy that during the time of the rebellion, the old hero everyone calls a traitor nearly wiped out his family. Our boy, with glowing purple eyes and a grim expression, is incredulous at what he just heard. Qiao Ji recalls that period. He says that since the incident, the Qiao family has suffered constantly under the empire's cruelty, which drove them into poverty. In a flashback, he remembers people being tied up and beaten. Under the secret orders of the hero Ding Kuan, the bullying became even more severe. Qiao Ji's memory is painful because everyone in his family knelt before the empire. The result was that the Qiao family ended up as servants of the Ding family, losing everything. Qiao Ji continues revealing the past, saying that the Qiao family had to rely on the Ding family's favor to survive, living in submission and degradation. The squire remembers the tragedy with reporters and cameras in the background. He says his elders also tried to change things in the past. The result was devastating. Qiao Ji's father lost his mind and became a lunatic, and his uncle became the Ding family's dog, living in humiliation. Qiao Ji, talking with our boy, questions that decision and asks if it was really right to join him in such a risky mission. Our boy, ignoring the doubt, says that he must go to the inner residence. His determination is unwavering and time is crucial for his plan. Qiao Ji, desperate, reminds him that Ding Su's father is in the residence, level 42 and fully equipped. He warns that if he's found, our boy will certainly die. The protagonist states that in an era where the secret realms are controlled, there's no hope for change without taking great risks. Our boy concludes the philosophy: if a person hesitates, they will never accomplish what must be done. It's time for Qiao Ji to decide whether to risk everything. The protagonist focuses on Qiao Ji. He offers to help him change his destiny, but the squire must make the choice first, taking the risk. Qiao Ji, terrified, questions the morality of the fight. He asks if they can really stand against the powerful and noble Ding clan. Our boy says that what he wants to resist is oppression and inequality, not the risk of death. Qiao Ji, surprised by what our boy just said, chooses to resist, showing that he's no longer the frightened squire he once was. It doesn't take long before our boy, in a great burst of energy, rushes toward the mansion at high speed. Inside the mansion, Ding Hao wonders, with disdain, how the Lord of the Secret Realm managed to break free so easily. Miss Yun Sha asks the second master if he's inconvenienced by the disturbance and whether they should visit another day. Ding Hao smiles, unconcerned, assuring the young lady there's no need to worry. His older brother, the chief head, can handle the issue easily. The second master brags, revealing that his father and his third brother are already on their way home after hearing about the young lady's visit. Ding Hao states that the Lord's situation is more than under control. He adds with a smile that they've already contacted Hero Grandpa, who's eager to meet her. Our boy, still hiding, listens to the conversation with a dark expression. He focuses on the name, Hero Grandpa, that hero Ding Kuan. The confrontation is approaching. Our boy observes the inside of the mansion. He notices that the blonde girl, Yun Sha, seems to hold quite a high status. The protagonist, still hidden, reflects on Yun Sha and the fact that the surname Yun is the same as his own. He wonders if it's just a coincidence, or if there's a connection. Our boy decides to step back, choosing to focus on the plan. He needs to concentrate on obtaining the entry permit for the rift and advancing his revenge. The black-haired girl looks toward where our boy had been, suspecting that they were being watched. Two maids are inside the mansion talking. Their presence indicates that our boy will have to be extremely cautious during his infiltration. Disguised with a mask, he sneaks through the door, cautiously peeking down the mansion corridor. He moves quietly, taking great care not to get caught. The protagonist walks through a luxurious hallway of the mansion, staying in the shadows to avoid being detected by servants or family members. The fight in the rift ends. The head of the Ding family and a guard emerge from the portal victorious after subduing the Lord. Ding Peng concludes that the Lord was freed by someone with ill intent, but that person is nowhere to be found. He suspects the motive wasn't just an item. Ding Peng, the head of the family, urgently orders the guards to first seal off the inner residence to ensure no one leaves or enters without permission. The family head is worried. The young lady agreed to visit, and he cannot allow anything to disturb or disrupt her visit. Our boy, disguised and inside the mansion, approaches a desk. He looks at the drawer, wondering where the past that should be there has gone. The protagonist uses the skill, Phase Shift, inherited from a previous skill book. The subtle movement of his hand indicates the skill's activation. He uses Phase Shift to remove the lock from the drawer. The skill allows him to shift the phase of objects the size of a brick for 4 seconds. Our boy opens the drawer. He sees several books and notebooks stored inside, glowing with a golden light, a sign of their value. The protagonist picks up a book, surprised. He recognizes that what he found is a diary that may contain crucial information about the Ding family. He inspects the drawer's contents. Our boy is shocked, realizing that all of them are high-quality skill books, a true treasure. The protagonist finds a specific skill book, Slow Light, which reduces the enemy's speed by 20% within a 20-meter radius. The skill can be learned by supports. But at that moment, the family head and the guards are at the gate of the inner residence, ensuring that no one approaches the area. Xiao Ji is hiding behind a tree watching the gate. He wonders why all the guards are there and whether they've been discovered. He notices that the number of guards is increasing. If our boy doesn't get out soon, he'll lose his chance to escape. Xiao Ji trembles. He thinks that if he doesn't flee now, the guards will have even more reason to punish him if he's caught on the premises. Then he remembers when he was a child. While his family was being exterminated, a woman held him tightly, fleeing from the chaos, and the third Master Ding watched them with a cruel smile. Back to the present day, Xiao Ji decides to escape quietly. He concludes that at least he can save himself, choosing survival. He tries to sneak away but stops upon seeing one of the guards. The squire faces a crucial decision: flee and abandon our boy or confront the security. Then he remembers our boy's words, that he could help him change, but Xiao Ji would have to make the choice first. Xiao Ji screams, unable to contain the fear and frustration of the situation, but he knows he needs to draw the guards' attention. The guards notice the movement and shout, realizing Xiao Ji's presence, making confrontation inevitable. With a determined look, Xiao Ji runs in the opposite direction of the mansion to distract the guards. He chooses to risk himself to save his companion, shouting as he runs. Our boy jumps out the window, shattering the glass. He orders Xiao Ji to distract them and warns the squire to make sure he doesn't get caught by the guards. The protagonist is in free fall. His eyes are locked on the escape route as he prepares for landing, minimizing damage. Falling, our boy shouts to the guards that the chains and skill books are with him, daring them to come and get them. The guard captain and the others run angrily toward the protagonist, yelling to capture him immediately. Our boy uses the skill, Slow Light, which costs 50 MP and lasts 60 seconds. The skill reduces enemy speed by 20% within a 20-meter range. The protagonist is seen falling from the sky, surrounded by shards and light. The fall is long, but he shows complete control of the situation. Our boy reverses the skill, Slow Light, to its enhanced version. Now, the ability slows enemies by 30% within a 30-meter range, ensuring his escape. The family head, Ding Peng, reacts to our boy's escape. He orders teams 2 and 3 to retreat and protect the Lord of the Realm. Our boy runs back toward the portal, leaving Xiao Ji behind. He yells, asking why the squire drew everyone away from the rift. The protagonist runs through the area, noticing that many guards have left, concluding that the Lord of the Realm must have been subdued by Ding Peng and his team. Our boy already imagines that to control a lord, a great battle and immense power were required. Our boy is ready for the next phase of his plan. The lord's HP must be at its minimum after the battle, and killing him now will make Mirrored World level up. Inside the mansion, the living room is eerily silent. The members of the Ding family and the young visitor wait for the situation outside to unfold. The young Yun Sha smiles, holding a teacup. She comments that there's some commotion outside but assures her uncle that he doesn't need to stay to accompany her. Second Master Ding Hao smiles arrogantly. He assures the young lady that it's just a few insignificant thieves that his older brother can easily handle. Ding Peng, the family head, is inside the secret realm, shouting for a paladin to go straight for the lord, saying he's too slow and shouldn't block his way. Ding Peng orders the rogues and archers to pursue the intruder, our boy, who escaped from the battle scene, and to chase him immediately to prevent further trouble. Our boy uses his agility to climb through the secret realm cave, moving at incredible speed as part of his plan. The protagonist checks his status. In thought, he says that he's been putting more than half of his points into agility at every level up, allowing him to move faster than usual. He launches himself through the air and boasts that he also possesses a skill that boosts his speed, optimizing his escape. Then our boy concludes that, at level 30, only classes like rogues and archers can keep up with his current speed. Our boy stops in the middle of the secret realm battlefield. He observes the lord, still restrained by a seal, and prepares for the final confrontation. He concludes that the realm lord is at his weakest point. It's time to kill him before anyone heals him. The group of guards near the rift notice his approach. The woman in pink armor shouts, warning that our boy has arrived, and they prepare to defend the lord. The team quickly forms up, composed of warriors, paladins, mages, and archers. They create a defensive cordon around the wounded lord. Our boy attacks the formation, casting the skill, Chaotic Thorns, and attempting to apply the inversion debuff to cause confusion. The attack hits the formation, and the guards are stunned, unable to understand the ability. They wonder what kind of skill that is, as they've never seen it before. The attack inflicts an abnormal status, but several notifications appear: judgment failed, and immune. Human resistance is higher than that of monsters, making the debuff hard to apply. But suddenly, a mage attacks with a burst of fire, hitting all the guards who were frozen in confusion, wondering what was happening. One of the guards, surprised, looks at the mage. The system notifies him of the confused status. He's shocked because the abnormal status rate of that skill is extremely high. Our boy dodges an attack. He uses his weapon to cut through the debris, looking for a path through the defensive formation. The protagonist knows he must break through the crowd to reach the lord with low HP and finish the job once and for all. Our boy advances, using his vine skill to disorient the confused opponents. The guards shout, asking where their control skills are and why their shields failed. The protagonist ignores the chaos, noticing the team's lack of coordination. He realizes they're just a bunch with no sense of teamwork. The group leader tries to calm everyone, telling them to hold their position since he's only one man. Our boy wonders if they've gone soft after so much peace. Then he uses his speed and offensive skill. He mocks the enemy, saying they just need to tie him up to kill him while dodging an electric spear. Then that old geezer realizes the problem. He warns the others that they need to stop him quickly before he reaches the wounded lord. The Ding family head, Ding Peng, appears surrounded by flames. He declares himself a level 42 warrior and claims he'll handle the intruder personally. Ding Peng uses a flaming strike skill, charging at our boy, determined to avenge the invasion of their private rift. Our boy draws the rancorous bone blade. He ducks to dodge the blow, preparing for combat against the enemy. The protagonist lets out a disdainful umph. The battle against a high-level opponent has finally begun, but he isn't intimidated by the difference in stats. Our boy summons the combat chains, level 60, that he stole. Even without the level requirement to use them, he manifests them, ignoring the stat restriction. Using the Chimera Ring for propulsion, he notes that the chain's durability matches a level 60 item, a sign of their value and power. Ding Peng attacks with a wave of fire, but our boy uses the impact force of the chains to defend himself. He believes this impact will shatter the ceiling layer. The protagonist dodges the fire attack, but the blast catapults him over the crowd, sending him flying straight toward the lord with surgical precision. Our boy breaks through the defense. Midair, he shouts that he made it. The wounded lord is right below, completely exposed to his final attack. Ding Peng is stunned by the bold maneuver. Furious, he yells, asking how he dares. The warrior realizes the intruder used his own attack as propulsion. Our boy dives toward the lord, breaking through the seal's defenses. He drives his sword into the lord and proclaims, "I'm taking the lord's EXP." The protagonist is bathed in the lord's blood. The lord's HP drops to 0 and the monster vanishes. Our boy gains the EXP he needed, ending the battle. A golden light appears, level up +3. Our boy's status rises, reaching level 20 and gaining 9 free attribute points to distribute. A new screen appears, the hidden skill, Mirrored World. The experience bar is full, and the skill reaches level 2 with plus 6000 EXP. The system confirms, mirrored world, EXP complete, skill leveled up. The protagonist has achieved the goal he so greatly desired. A Ding family warrior wielding an axe is furious. He shouts, realizing the intruder is far more troublesome than he appeared. Our boy stands still, surrounded by the fallen lord and the creature's entrails at his feet. The remaining guards rush to attack him, yelling, "Get him!" before he escapes. Our boy grips his blade with a grim, determined expression. He prepares to use Mirrored World to escape. The protagonist activates the hidden skill. The screen shows Mirrored World level 2, and his finger points to trigger the final ability that reverses everything. The old man swings his axe but hits nothing. Our boy has vanished right before his eyes. The group, seeing him disappear, stares in shock, wondering what just happened. Green energy begins to flood the entire area. The ability Mirrored World is activated, and our boy is now in a different plane of existence. The protagonist finds himself surrounded by projections of the guards who were chasing him. He realizes this place is the mirror world he was trapped in before. A notification appears, mirror walk, time remaining, 29 minutes and 51 seconds. Our boy understands that it's a world within the mirror, activated by the level 2 skill. Our boy reflects that this is a world inside the mirror and must be explored quickly. He tries to touch one of the ghostly guards and concludes that these creatures are merely illusions. Moreover, everything is inverted, which explains the chaos compared to the real world. Our boy kneels to touch the ethereal ground. He stays alert, searching for something real amidst so many illusions and reversals. He finds something. A crystalline object glows in his hand. A notification appears indicating that he has acquired the mirror stone and that it can be taken out of the area. Our boy holds the crystal stone. He wonders if, after the skill leveled up to level 2, he can now bring objects out of the mirror world. The protagonist grows excited about the new discovery. Energy flows through his hand as he wonders if the system will change somehow with the advancement of his hidden skill. The mirror world skill list appears. Our boy sees an interesting list of skills: ghost technique, invisibility, feather fall, and many others. Our boy taps the list, noticing that all the skills are marked as inactive. The system informs him that these are unlearned skills from the main body that he can acquire. The protagonist analyzes the list of skills. He concludes that all of these are reversed forms of real-world skills. Our boy explains the mechanics. To activate any inverted skill, one must first learn its original version in the real world. Inversion level 1 is a limited version of level 2. The protagonist taps the floating skill list again. He realizes he can select powerful skill combos to learn, optimizing his class progression. The discovery is thrilling. Our boy smiles, as this new information helps him better plan his advancement toward an offensive class. He notices something ethereal floating inside the cavern. The protagonist wonders, a soul? The rift is more than just a monster portal. Our boy senses the presence of a new ghost, the soul of the original boy. He understands that there are other souls trapped here in the mirror world. A skeleton soul, engulfed in emerald green flames, floats in the air. The presence of these souls reveals the final fate of those who die inside the rift. The protagonist draws his rancorous bone blade. He questions whether the bodies in the graveyard turned into undead monsters after death. The skeleton soul is destroyed by a burst of energy dispersing into the air. Our boy demonstrates his weapon's lethality even against spiritual entities. The protagonist analyzes the destroyed soul. He concludes that it wasn't very strong and that he'll need to hunt down more powerful entities. The protagonist remains alert, a faint smirk forming at the corner of his lips. He's about to uncover a new potential within the mirror world. The undead contract screen appears. Our boy discovers that he can contract souls, and once the contract is made, they can fight for him outside the mirror world. Our boy deduces the full power of the level 2 skill. After defeating undead and capturing their souls, he can summon them in the real world as allies. The protagonist holds the mirror stone. He realizes that level 2 of mirror world allows him to bring not only items but also undead into the real world. Our boy stands in the mirror world, surrounded by several ghosts. He finds the new discovery fascinating and gets ready to test the contract. Meanwhile, outside, a crowd of guards gathers. They notice that the secret realm has dissipated, yet our boy hasn't reappeared. The guards are confused by his disappearance. They wonder how he vanished and if the wanderer possessed a stealth skill too powerful to detect. One guard insists it's impossible for the escape to go unnoticed. Stealth skills have physical forms and time limits. The old man grabs a subordinate's face, demanding an explanation. He yells, "What's your excuse? How did he escape?" Furious, he threatens him, saying that if he can't find the intruder, he'll pay for the cost of the secret realm. But at that moment, our boy reappears among the guards, challenging the enemy. The family head notices that our boy has appeared and looks at him in rage. Our boy stands still, realizing that the time for mirror walk has ended. He understands he's returned to the same spot, Ding Peng is about to explode with anger, ordering the guards to immediately resume the pursuit. Our boy takes the opportunity for revenge. He declares there's no rush. After being attacked so much, he deserves some payback. The protagonist, with a dark smile, summons a horde of undead wreathed in green flames. He challenges the guards to face his army of the dead. The guards are shocked by the sudden appearance of spectral monsters. They question what those evil spirits that emerged from nowhere are. The family head tries to stay calm, saying they shouldn't panic before mere undead creatures. He's seen plenty before. The paladin and guards defend themselves from the skeleton spirits that advance with swords and shields. The undead attack fiercely. One guard is shocked to see that the undead spirit has a visible status bar and is at level 20. The threat is real and tangible. Ding Peng maintains his composure with an arrogant grin. He orders them not to panic, assuring them they can handle the situation. The group of guards and mercenaries charges forward, shouting for a counterattack. They're motivated by the promise of a pay raise if they capture our boy. One elite guard wonders where the intruder went. Looking around, our boy's disappearance still puzzles him. He's already outside the rift, observing the situation. He laments that the undead available for contract are still too weak for his needs. Our boy thinks that if he had a stronger undead, that bunch wouldn't stand a chance. He reveals that among the undead he found, he's already contracted the 20 strongest to form his small army. Our boy reaches the exploration limit of the mirror world. The system notifies him that he can only move within a 200-meter radius after entry. He plans to enter the mirror world in another location later, to see if he can find and contract higher-grade undead. Leaving the mirror world, he encounters his companion being held by a guard, and the battle is about to resume near the forest. The guard grabs him, mocking, "You really know how to hide." He wonders what the reward will be for capturing him. Our boy attacks swiftly, knocking the guard down and freeing his companion. Xiaoji looks at our boy in surprise and asks how he became so fast. Then he grabs his partner and says they must get out of there, abandoning the chaos so the trap can be set. Chaos breaks out in the rift. The summoned army of skeletal undead attacks the guards, who try to defend themselves. One extra slashes one of the spirits with a cutting blow. The undead spirit, level 20, is defeated in a single strike, confirming its fragility. The undead is destroyed, but its ghostly form remains. One of the guards notices that the ghosts aren't strong, but doesn't understand why they're so hard to deal with. Suddenly, the skeletal spirit reforms in green flames. The guards are shocked, asking how they can revive after death. Several HP bars and green lights surround the undead. The guards are confused, not knowing how to fight against creatures that regenerate. The family head exhales smoke, showing his irritation at the chaotic situation. The third master, Dingu, steps forward and says that the undead are merely summons, and even if they revive, they cost the summoner mana. The family head asks the young visitor, "Has Miss Yumiao returned?" The Ding family's priority is still its reputation and the girl's visit. Inside the inner residence, Ding Hao, second master, bows to his father, the family head. He apologizes for failing to restrain the young lady, who left due to the chaos. The second master complains that the intruder not only shouted outside but also broke the residence's windows, increasing the repair costs. The Ding family's grand master, Ding Dan, lets out a furious humph of disdain, enraged that the intruder managed to enter the inner residence. Ding Hao, second master, bows again, accepting his father's scolding. He admits his failure to catch the intruder and that they don't even know what he looks like. Ding Hao considers that, despite the fiasco, Miss Yun Sha agreed to go to the hero's secret realm. He feels that at least his grandfather's problem is solved. The Grand Master Ding Dan, furious, swears vengeance against the intruder who caused the trouble. He vows that once they discover who he is, they will kill him mercilessly. The Grand Master orders someone to check what else might have been stolen from the inner residence, worried about more valuable items. Our boy holds the stolen temporary entry permit. The pass bears Xiao Ji's name, which might come in handy. The protagonist obtained the pass but still needs someone who can escort him into the hero's secret realm. Our boy sits down, checking his status. He leveled up to level 20 inside Ding Su's house. He decides the rest of his preparations aren't urgent for now. The Chimera Bone Ring's status shows 94% damage, almost broken. Still, our boy managed to steal over a dozen secret skill books from the family. Our boy looks at the book in his hand, an enchanter's skill. He concludes that all enchantment magic consists of support-type skills, reinforcing the weakness of his base class. Our boy analyzes the first new skill, Battle Song Chant. 440 MP, It grants plus 8% critical rate and plus 15% critical damage, but reduces defense by 20%. Next, he examines the skill Shield Song Chant, Reversal. With the same mana cost, it increases defense by 30% and reduces critical damage taken by 23%, but decreases critical rate by 12%. The protagonist smiles as he activates Power Boost, a passive and permanent skill that adds plus 3 to strength. He thinks, with attributes alone, I'll be able to crush people of the same level. He recalls that the defeated enemy lord dropped an item, the Corrupted Knight Armor. The rare level 30 armor boasts an impressive plus 1,500 magic defense, perfect for future use. And most importantly, he managed to evolve his hidden skill, Mirror World, to level 2. It's described as the ultimate skill that reverses all things. Our boy reflects on his power. With this, the undead I've tamed have greatly increased my strength. But then he concludes, it's still not enough. Judging by the equipment on the statue, the hero is at least an S-class branch berserker, indicating the strength of his future enemy. He calculates that he needs much more power. I must contract at least one undead of the same category and reach level 50 to have a chance to kill him. Our boy reassures his companion beside him with a faint smile. Don't worry, we shook them off. We also didn't show our faces. It's fine, that's what matters. His friend, Xiao Ji, visibly tense, only mutters in worry, asking if they won't come after them. Our boy observes his friend, noticing he's still anxious about the escape. The protagonist thinks he can't blame him for that, given his young age, and calls out to him. Xiao Ji, still nervous, asks about our boy's wish. The protagonist explains that he wants to find a higher level secret realm to level up, but keeps the details about the strong ones vague. Xiao Ji thinks for a moment and suddenly has a realization. He confirms thoughtfully, if we're talking about secret realms where strong people have died, there's one. However, he quickly becomes frustrated because that secret realm belongs to the academy, which means they have no chance of sneaking in or entering without permission. Our boy reflects on the problem. The academy, a monopolized secret realm. He rests his hand on his chin, thinking of a way to overcome the difficulty. After a moment, our boy decides that if the normal route is blocked, he'll have to rely on special means to reach his goal. In the private residence, the teacher is surprised, holding 2 books. He mutters, wondering if this is really for him. One of them is a rare purple grade skill book and even for his own rogue class. The teacher coughs, startled by the bribe, thinking, our boy really has some backing. He hesitates, saying that access to the academy's secret realm is pre-scheduled and exceptions can't be made. The teacher explains, the realm is currently open for graduating students. Normally, students from previous years like our boy are not qualified to enter. Finally, the professor finds a loophole for the deal, looking at our boy. He explains that if a student is particularly excellent, they can be recommended by a teacher to join the team. The professor, now bribed, agrees and says, I'll do my best to fight for you. But it doesn't take long before our boy is already at the entrance of the secret realm, where a crowd is preparing to enter. One of the students comments to a classmate. He's excited, thinking this might be the last secret realm he'll ever enter in his life, and that he needs to farm more monsters. Other students express gratitude, saying that if it weren't for the hero's gift, they would never have had this chance. They thank the hero for the opportunity. Our boy approaches the entrance with a serious look. He feels the energy of the place and thinks, this secret realm feels strange. Something in the atmosphere bothers him. The professor explains to the students, this is the heroic secret realm, gifted to the school by the hero. It said the hero once fought here, and traces of him may still remain. Our boy and Xiao Ji stand before the shimmering portal. Our boy just stares at the opening, focused on his goal of entering the heroic secret realm. Xiao Ji, on the other hand, wonders in thought if this is the realm where the hero killed the traitor John, but he seems to start remembering something important about the place's history. Xiao Ji averts his gaze, thoughtful and uneasy. He considers the possibility of telling our boy what he knows, reflecting on whether he should really say it. The professor addresses the students, saying that the level of this realm is quite high. He warns them to be careful and act within their abilities. The student Xiao Xie, confused and frustrated with the order not to overexert themselves, lets out a ha in indignation. Then he asks the professor how he's supposed to level up that way. But the professor scolds Xiao Xie, asking why he's still complaining, and tells him to stop whining, warning that the realm is open and to get in now. Then he pushes the extra toward the entrance. Xiao Xie grumbles loudly, looking at our boy and Xiao Ji. How annoying. I still have to look after 2 parasites. What a waste of my time. Xiao Xie turns to the duo and gives his order aggressively. Once we're inside, stay behind us. Don't slow us down. You'll just get in the way. Our boy, ignoring the scolding, focuses on the energy of the portal. The realm is meant for people from level 20 to 40, but he questions, why is this? There's something more. Our boy sharpens his gaze and reflects on what he's feeling. The heroic secret realm emits an aura that makes the protagonist conclude that this place feels dangerous. Finally, the group enters the heroic secret realm. The portal opens, revealing a passage covered by large blue crystals as everyone moves forward. Our boy is surprised to recognize some people in the group. He thinks, why are Yunsha and Yunin here too? One of the classmates approaches the two girls, Yunsha and Yunin, asking, aren't they from lower grades? The presence of the young women is unexpected. Xiaoxia joins the conversation with a mocking smile. Look at that, these two bottom scorers came too. He's referring to our boy and Xiaoji. Xiaoxia gets excited, glancing at Yunsha. If only Yunsha and the others could be on our side, that would be great. I get energized when I'm with girls. The armored classmate laughs mischievously in agreement. Maybe, it could still happen. He seems hopeful that the girls might join their party. Then a young man scolds his classmate, stop dreaming. They're above level 30, way higher than us. We should be begging to be carried. Xiaoxia's face turns irritated, and then his classmate adds, saying that he's no match for them. The classmate backs down, accepting the rebuke. He tries to justify himself, shrinking, I know. I was just saying. He gives up on the idea of approaching the powerful Yunsha and Yunin. As the group advances, Yunsha and Yunin pass by the side, glancing at the others and move ahead, ignoring Xiaoxia's group, who lets out a confused, huh. As the girls walk on, Yunsha stops and looks back directly at our boy. The classmates murmur, Yunsha you. Her attention surprises everyone. Our boy tenses up, staring at the girl. He thinks, uneasy. He realizes she has a high status and her behavior is unusual. He reflects that she was an honored guest of the Ding family. Our boy wonders if she knew the former owner of his body or if she's defending the beaten Ding Su. Yunsha smiles, a mischievous glint in her golden eyes. She says, I saw you at the memorial yesterday. Your movements weren't bad and your voice is quite unique. Our boy is confused by her direct approach and thinks in disbelief that this is just small talk. He doesn't understand the girl's intention in exposing him. Yunsha explains with a mocking smile, that's why it was easy to recognize you even through the sound of shattering glass. She subtly reveals that she knows about the invasion. Our boy feels a chill and the tension rises. He realizes that this person recognized him from the two sentences he shouted and the noise he made the previous day. Yunsha, with a glow of energy and new equipment, ends the brief exchange. I've finished saying hi, that's it for today. She doesn't care to explain further. Her companion Yunin also appears with her new shining gear. She warns, we're going to explore now. The two display power and indifference. Our boy, watching the pair walk away, lets out a dark thought. He understands, she recognized me but didn't expose me publicly. He ponders Yunsha's warning. Was it a reminder? He realizes that Ding Su must have also recognized his and Xiaoji's voices during the invasion. The protagonist thinks that as long as the Ding family doesn't come after them anytime soon, everything will be fine. With his leveling speed, he won't have to worry for long. Our boy watches Yunsha and Yunin disappear into the distance. He decides that since the girl was kind enough to warn him, he'll also give her a warning in return. He calls out to them and warns, be careful you two. This secret realm has a dangerous aura. The sense that something is wrong still lingers in him. Yunin looks at Yunsha and says, now that you mention it, it really does feel a bit strange here, confirming that she also senses something unusual in the realm. Yunsha responds to our boy's warning with a confident smile, thinking that with her level, there shouldn't be any problem. She politely thanks him for the reminder. Xiaoxia's group is shocked by the interaction. They ask if that was really Yunsha, saying that she's usually very distant, and wondering why she's acting that way with him. The classmates crowd around our boy, curious. Hey, how do you know Yunsha? Are you too close? Another, more greedy one, asks if he can introduce them. Our boy, clearly annoyed by the unwanted attention, apologizes and tries to slip away quickly, saying, sorry, we have to go. The mentor, holding his staff, scolds him, go? You're going alone? The monsters here are at least level 20. You two lower grade students could die to a basic monster. Xiaoxia, with a disdainful look, pushes his classmates away from the protagonist, ordering, let them go. He doesn't want our boy and Xiaoji causing more trouble for the group, and he adds that if he's close to Yunsha, he's probably not low level either. This causes some doubt about Xiaoxia's decision. Another classmate reminds Xiaoxia, but Professor Li told us to look after them. How could they level up on their own? The duty to guide the duo remains a concern. Our boy whispers to Xiaoji, don't forget why we're really here. He emphasizes that the fewer people know about the secret destination, the better. Xiaoxia gets irritated upon seeing such precious crystals and says, anyway, everyone's equipped with a distress signal, just ignore them. The armored classmate who had praised Yunsha looks away, thoughtful, and mutters, why can some random nobody be around Yunsha? However, Xiaoxia watches the two walking away with a malicious glint in his eyes and thinks, since he overestimates himself, he deserves to die. The scene cuts back to the entrance of the secret realm, where a man in a suit, clearly the real Ding Su, runs toward the portal. Ding Su is confronted by the professor, who asks in surprise what he's doing there, saying he shouldn't have the temporary entry permit. Ding Su, with injuries on his face, confronts the professor, asking if a team just entered. The professor replies yes and asks what he's planning. Ding Su, eyes burning with rage, focuses on the team that just went in. His mind is filled with hatred as he thinks of our boys and his companions' names. The second master of the Ding family appears and scolds the young man. He warns him not to blame others just because he was beaten at the memorial. Ding Su, desperate and furious, insists that they were the ones who invaded, saying he recognized their voices, but the second master has no time for his small problems. The second master continues, saying that if the intruders managed to escape him and so many guards, that's not something mere students could do. The second master concludes that unless Ding Su can prove that the duo is stronger than the guards, he can't help him pursue them. His priority lies elsewhere. Another elder of the Ding family intervenes with authority, saying enough, and tells them that they are discussing business and that the boys shouldn't interfere. At that moment, Ding Su's fury explodes. He grabs the professor by the collar, shouting, "Our boy and Xiaoji went in, and I'm going into this secret realm too." And inside the portal, without wasting any time, our boy is tearing apart the monsters that appear before him. With a swift movement, he attacks the level 20 ice crystal monster, dealing considerable damage. The crystals keep shattering under the violence of the initial clash. The monster counterattacks with a powerful mana beam. Our boy must be agile to avoid the massive strike. The beam hits the ground, creating a web of energy that our boy must dodge. The protagonist runs sideways to escape the long-range attack. Our boy shouts his teammate's name, who already understands what needs to be done, and immediately uses his protective shield, as he needs immediate support to deal with the enemy's ferocity. Xiaoji, out of sight, casts the skill. A fluid shield with golden wings and 700 defense envelopes our boy, costing 40 MP and lasting 3 minutes. Besides the defense, our boy receives an extra bonus, the inspired status, which increases his attack power and speed by 5% thanks to Xiaoji's encouraging shout. Protected and buffed, our boy charges toward the ice crystal monster. The enemy roars, showing its sharp fangs, ignoring outside attacks. Our boy moves toward the monster's head and delivers a direct strike to the target to capitalize on the new buffs. The attack is empowered by the skill Deceptive Blade, which increases attack power by 70%, leaving only 7 seconds of duration, and the monster is split in half. Our boy receives a system notification: "You leveled up." His chanter class is now level 21 with his attributes and stats rising. Xiaoji also celebrates the achievement and is surprised to level up as well, showing great excitement. Xiaoji's status is displayed, level 11 class shield bearer. His stats are mostly defensive with 19 defense, confirming his support role. Our boy explains that in the skill book stolen from the Ding family, there were practical skills that Xiaoji can learn at his current level, such as surrounding shield and encouraging shout. The protagonist acknowledges that although the monsters in this secret realm are high level, having Xiaoji's skills helps a lot and greatly eases the situation. Our boy and Xiaoji walk through the place to see if they can find more monsters. He says that, according to the professor, there's a rare monster in this secret realm, the obsidian beast. He adds that killing it might drop a specific support skill, gravitational pull. Our boy inspects the skill list in the system. The gravitational pull ability, which drags a target forward, is precisely the required skill marked in his mirror world. Walking deeper in, our boy notices that there's not only the obsidian beast but also many undead in the area, a perfect enemy for his class. He smirks, thinking about the powerful warriors who died in this secret realm and wonders if their souls still wander where they perished. Our boy thinks that, to find the monsters, he should look for higher ground. Suddenly, he notices something and stops. The view widens, revealing a massive monster. Our boy worries, trying to identify the creature moving below them. From atop the canyon, the duo watches a group of crushing beasts moving together, glowing in an intense purple hue. Our boy and Xiaoji observe from a cliff this enormous crystal beast. The protagonist realizes the monster is larger and far more dangerous than he imagined. He expresses his surprise, so many radiant stone beasts of elite grade moving together. And worse, they've already moved at least a kilometer, far beyond their normal range. Our boy looks at the horizon, thoughtful, as he recognizes the special classification of these unusual creatures. The wandering types are rare secret realm monsters that don't respawn in fixed points and roam freely across the map. Their strength is far superior to that of normal monsters of the same level. Our boy reflects on the past. Back when humanity was not yet strong, these creatures posed an even greater danger. Then, our boy leaps off the cliff into battle. Encountering the wandering types meant preparing for a very tough fight. The danger was real because these monsters could sometimes wander outside the secret realm, invading the human world and causing panic in cities. In a grim flashback, we see the devastation caused by these creatures. People wounded, homes burning, confirming the threat they represent. The invasions of these wandering beings resulted in countless and tragic secret realm disasters throughout human history. However, in proportion to their level of danger, defeating the wandering types grants experience and loot of much higher quality than ordinary monsters. Our boy charges toward those beasts with full force but acknowledges the opponent's strength. He thinks, these monsters are too strong. The protagonist concludes that, for now, he can only probe and test the weaknesses of the obsidian crystal monster, avoiding a full-on confrontation with its total power. He observes the enemy. The HP bar of the level 30 crystal monster is regenerating plus 20 HP continuously. Our boy wonders if there's some kind of continuous healing skill at play. Two other obsidian beasts simultaneously fire their powerful mana beams, and our boy must be even faster and more cautious to dodge the double attack. Protected by the surrounding shield, our boy narrowly evades the energy beams at the last second. The intensity of the attacks demands the protagonist's full concentration. He manages to dodge the frequent and swift attacks but still takes minor damage. Our boy notices that these monster strikes are incredibly fast and relentless. He recognizes the gravity of the situation. The assault is so rapid and constant that, even with his high speed, he can't dodge everything all the time. He checks his HP bar. His total HP and defense attributes are quite low. Our boy admits that if it weren't for Qiao Ji's surrounding shield, he would have been seriously injured. In one last effort, our boy summons his undead army. The skeletons, engulfed in flames, try to protect the protagonist from the enemy's attacks, but it's useless. Even the level 23 undead can't withstand the strength of the enemy's assault. They're easily defeated by the powerful obsidian beasts. Our boy needs to retreat quickly. Fortunately, the obsidian beast's movements are still relatively slow, giving him a chance to escape the combat area. The protagonist, moving at high speed, decides he can't afford to waste any more HP. His HP and defense stats can't be improved quickly, putting him at a major disadvantage. To defeat these monsters, our boy will have to rely on the defensive bonuses from Qiao Ji's level up. He proposes farming some normal monsters first. The two head toward the low-level grinding zone. Our boy remembers seeing many monsters on the highlands earlier, perfect for helping Qiao Ji level up. Our boy watches Qiao Ji block a massive attack from a monster. He acknowledges that in team battles, shield bearers are the indispensable first line of defense. He emphasizes the importance of Qiao Ji's role, as other classes hide behind the shield bearer to deal damage more safely in battle. Our boy observes his companion's improvement. Since then, all of Qiao Ji's stat points have been invested in defense, along with the armor looted from the Ding family guards. Now, the shield bearer finally possesses the class's essential defensive skills. He can already block attacks from level 20 monsters, taking only 2 damage. Our boy takes on a mentor stance, giving Qiao Ji crucial instructions, telling him to sink your body and maintain a firm stance, since this technique is fundamental for defense. Following the instruction, Qiao Ji faces the crystal beast, rotating his shield toward the incoming strike. Qiao Ji smiles, surprised by the result. He realizes his effort paid off, as the durability of the basic shield dropped by less than 5%, indicating a much more efficient defense. Qiao Ji takes the impact from a monster, shouting as he receives damage. Our boy immediately warns him to be careful of follow-up attacks. The crystal monster strikes in succession. Our boy, standing beside him, throws himself forward to defend his teammate, showing that even he struggles with the agility of the attacks. Our boy keeps giving tactical advice, telling him to always pay attention to the enemy's next move and don't swing your shield too much, or you'll leave space for the next strike. Qiao Ji, focused, absorbs the information, nodding. Our boy advises him to keep his head alert but his body relaxed, tensing only at the moment of defense. The mentor places a hand on Qiao Ji's abdomen, motivating him after a successful defense, and orders him to continue. Our boy continues the training, reminding Qiao Ji that as a shield bearer, he must always be aware of the movements of his allies behind him. Qiao Ji, sweaty and scratched but determined, responds firmly. He has absorbed all the lessons and is rapidly improving in combat. While they fight low-level monsters, our boy reinforces the final lesson, telling him to remember, when the difference is small, technique determines victory or defeat. The grinding pays off, and both receive a notification that they leveled up. The intense training in the grinding zone was highly effective. Our boy's status updates to level 22, with a noticeable increase in his spirit. His current experience is now 54/4600. Qiao Ji also levels up, now at level 15. His defense jumps to an impressive 31 and his spirit to 4. The shield bearer is ready for the next step. With the required level reached, Xiao Ji finally learns the last skill from a rare book that had the symbol of a shining star. The skill book is Shield Armor, costing 50 MP and requiring level 15. It increases durability by 400 and defense by 512, 1/7 of the user's defense. The skill has been successfully learned. This was the last skill book Xiao Ji could learn among all those stolen from the Ding family. Xiao Ji showcases the result of his new learning. A green aura envelopes his summoned shield. The new skill adds an external armor layer to the shield, greatly boosting protection. With the new skill, Xiao Ji is ready for tougher battles. He can now also apply shield armor, even to skeletons, which is ideal for the secret realm. It doesn't take long before they decide to return to the place where the monsters continue to roam, but now, the duo has enough power to handle an elite-level wandering type. From a higher vantage point, three figures watch. One of them comments, worried, saying there are so many elite wandering type monsters in this place, and he's concerned about their numbers. They are three professors, Zhuangzheng, Lei Lai, and Lei Yin. They wonder where so many monsters came from, concluding they're far too dangerous for the students. The oldest professor remarks that while they can handle normal level 30 monsters, these elite wandering types are something completely different. Suddenly, a golden flare cuts through the sky of the secret realm, drawing the professor's attention. That's a student's distress signal. The professors prepare for rescue. They recognize the urgency but recall that the wandering types are extremely dangerous, and wonder what will happen if the students run into them. Professor Zhuangzheng agrees on the need for caution and says that, just in case, he'll stay in the rear. And since the professor who volunteered to stay behind made that decision on his own to avoid any incidents, the others begin preparing to leave the area. Our boy and Xiao Ji appear, suggesting that the two of them can stay to watch the area, saying the signal might be from the wandering types, and that only two professors might not be enough. Our boy addresses the professors and interrupts, stating that these wandering types move slowly and haven't noticed them yet, but we know what he's really up to, it's just an excuse not to be found out. Before leaving, the professors warn them to only observe from a distance, saying they'll be fine that way. Our boy replies that it's okay and that he'll follow their advice, but in his mind he's thinking of keeping the canyon for himself and Xiao Ji. The strongest professor hesitates but agrees. Before leaving, he warns that those monsters are extremely dangerous and that under no circumstances should they act on their own. Our boy watches them leave and smiles. The professor told him to stay hidden because if he were discovered, he wouldn't escape, but the protagonist says, they're the ones who won't escape now. And that's it, folks. If you made it this far, you must have enjoyed the story, so leave a big like to support the channel. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss anything. See you next time. Peace out.